Step number 1, select the Japanese unit being targeted. Okay, for example, let's do this one. We are attacking this one. Okay, perfect. So we will be attacking with this unit and this unit. These two are going to be performing the assault. So you can have a situation marker temporarily and indicate that with the recon assault markers on the towards north, upside, to show that these two are going to be attacking this unit and doing the assault. Okay, and now I have to provide combat support. Okay, I'm going to be using the combat support for this unit that it's adjacent. This unit that it's adjacent, I could use a third one if I want to. So this one I cannot do it because it's indicating that as being used, this unit used previously the recon assault and the combat support as well. This one is too far. This one cannot be used. This one over here can be used even if it's disorganized. And this one over here that has used the direct before but not the indirect could be used too. So I'm going to be using this one. So previously the recon assault was used, and now we are going to be using the support value, so we can flip it and show that this unit has been also this unit has used already both the assault recon and the combat support. So we're going to have, right now we have like 2 tanks, 1 flamethrower, and 1 artillery, because I'm using it from a long distance, and that this unit it's not in a Matsuribashi, not in a fixed artillery hex or hill. Okay, so we are attacking this unit. It's indicating that it has 2 combat factor. We are doing 4 and 4, it's 8. So it's this one has 2. So once we have selected the target, we have selected the 2 units we are going to be performing the recon action. We also selected that these 2 are going to perform also the support, so we can flip it to indicate that these 2 are going to be used fully. This one was like the combat support was available, so we flip it to indicate that we will be using it. And now we have to determine if the unit that we are attacking is completely, all the information it's ready, and it's not, because we have a hidden unit that it's adjacent to the target that we need information for that. But before doing so, sometimes in the comment section we can have icons that could be providing combat support, additional combat support in this phase. For example, providing additional flamethrower or additional artillery or additional tank support. You can only use 1 command counter per turn. So in this case, this is the moment before revealing anything hidden from the enemy, if you want to be using this command type of command markers for support. Let's say we had in the command display available this one, we haven't used anything before in this turn, so we will be spending this counter. So now it's step number 5, it's to determine the Japanese unit hidden. So it's only 1, so we take from the intelligence bag, you use the support, and that's all. So we don't have, if we had a reaction marker, you know, as we saw before, that you have to do a Banzai or a redeployment roll to see what to do with that unit. And then what we have to do is to calculate the command radio. So you have 4 and 4 from these 2 units. It's 8 against 2. So it's 4 to 1. If we had a unit showing a disorganized retreat marker, this combat factor will be reduced by 1. So it would be a 3 instead of 4. So if that would have been the case, you had 4 plus 3, 7. So instead of 4 to 1, we'll have a 3 to 1. So we will be in a worse situation. But that's not the case. Once we have the combat radio, we have to check the dice roll modifiers. That's gonna come from the combat support type from each side. So we will be checking one by one. We have first thing we have to do, if the enemy has anti-tank and we are using tanks, we need to check if these tanks are available or not. So we have we check all the information here so we have only 2 anti-tanks. We roll a red die. It's a 5, so it's more than 1 or 2. So we can use our tanks. So we start checking tanks. You compare your tanks with the enemy. And the maximum you can have is a +2 or -2 modifier for tanks. So in this case, we have a +2 because the enemy, they don't have it. We check now artillery. With artillery, the enemy has 3 and we were using 1. So it's a 2. The 2 of my tanks with the 2 from my +2 from the -2 for the artillery, it's 0. We need to check also the flamethrower since we were using the tanks, but it's not a cave. We are only having a 1. So it's a 1 +1 for us, and we are against C-type. We are doing also flanking because this hex it's not occupied by a US unit. We are attacking from 2 different hexes with a 1 in the middle that is empty. So it's a +2. And the enemy defense type, it's C, which is 0, no modifier. So we have here a +2 on our die roll. You check here that we spend this counter to have a +2. It will be 4 against 0 because the enemy don't have. So we explained before, we only have a +2. When you use this type of counters, you place them aside. You don't. When you use it, you play it aside because at the end of the game, you will have to count them. How many you use during the game to calculate if you have a reduction of victory points or not. So next step is to do the roll. We said that we have a +2. A +2. We roll. It's a 1 +2 is a 3. So A1, D1. So the attacker is getting 1 hit. The defender is getting 1 hit. So the attacker is getting 1 hit. So it had 2 steps, so we rotate it clockwise to show that it only has 1 step. And then we have to assign 1 or this or this. So when you apply hits to US units, you have to distribute between the units as equally as possible. So in this case, it's only 1 hit you need to assign. If they were 2, you will do 1 and 1. But since it's only 1, you will decide. So for example, I will take in this one. So you need to roll to check if it gets disorganized or not. The disorganized action is only taken during the assault phase. And if the die roll result is equal or less than the number of hits that this unit is receiving, so it will be disorganized. Okay, in this case 4. So since this unit was receiving only 1 hit, only with 1, a result of 1 will end up in being disorganized. So let's say that the roll was a 1, it will be disorganized. So you get the hit, you flip it to count from 4 to 3, and you need to move 2 hexes away from the enemy. 1 and 2, it's mandatory, and you keep the disorganized marker. But in this case, we roll a 5, I think. So we don't need to worry about that. So you can maintain the position and receive the hit. So you flip it, or you can decide if you prefer to avoid the loss of that step and make an organized retreat. So you can retreat up to 2 or maybe 1. It's up to 2. So you are preventing 1 step loss, but you get the organized retreat marker. When you finish the attack, the combat support marker, you send it back to the pool. If you were attacking a hiding unit instead, so let's say this one was like that. This one was the defense value. This one was the combat support from this one. Okay, so if the combat ends like that way, like if the target unit do not receive a hit at least to be revealed, this marker is going to be kept during the first attack phase but the other, it's going to be removed. The support markers are going to be removed. But if you had inflicted one hit to this enemy, so you flip it, and since it's revealed, this counter also goes back to the back. I think it's something important that I haven't mentioned before finishing is that, let's say we were doing this attack, the unit received one hit, remember? So if the units you're attacking had one step less, so you can remove it for assigning the hit. Remember, every 2 eliminated Japanese units, you score a victory point, and the empty hex can be occupied. Okay, that's very important. So if you receive a hit, you can still go. This one, it's in an enemy sock, so it cannot enter the hex. You need to make sure of that. Retard support reaction markers accordingly of the explanations. And so once you finish all the combats, or you decide not to keep doing combats, you go to perform raids, the next phase.